Are you ready?
Yes. Woo! Okay.
What's going on, everyone? For WrestleTrivia, I'm your host, Kevin J. Callis.
Yeah.
And you're watching episode 56 of Wrestling Jeopardy, the ultimate interactive game show where you're the contestant.
I cannot wait.
And as always, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Now let's go to the board and check out the categories that you'll be quizzed on. Starting with a visual category, name that Masked Luchador, followed by wrestling terminology. Our third category will be geography. That'll be based on wrestlers' hometowns. Our fourth category, double Ks, and no, I'm not a possible answer. And our fifth and final category, as voted on by the members of this channel. And if you want to vote in these weekly polls, make sure you click on the join button below. And the choices this week were John Cena trivia, Hulk Hogan trivia, and Stone Cold Steve Austin trivia. And the winner this week looks like the Hulkster got shut out, brother. But the final category will be Stone Cold Steve Austin trivia. Oh, hell yeah! And that sound means it's time for the job around. It's time to play the game. Look at the adjective, play. Thanks for the t-shirt, Gideon Vane. Here comes the first clue on the board. Name this Masked Luchador. This Mexican-born superstar embodies cero miedo every time he steps inside that squared circle. Who is Penta? Here comes wrestling terminology for 200. The opposite of a babyface, this is what wrestling villains are called. Unless you're like Kerry Von Erich, you have two of them on either foot. What are heels?
How about a little heel turn?
We're on to geography for the first time. This one-of-a-kind high flyer is from Battle Creek, Michigan. Who is RVD, Rob Van Dam? On to double Ks now for 200. This dreadlock dynamo leapt into WWE in 2008 and is now one of their longest tenured superstars. I don't know about you, but I just can't boo this guy, even after what he did to Big E. Who is Kofi Kingston? And let's finish up the job around with some Stone Cold trivia. At WrestleMania 18, Austin practically stunned this NWO member into orbit. Still one of the smoothest WrestleMania moments and cleanest sells of a Stone Cold Stunner ever. Who was the late, great Scott Hall? Let's move on now to the 400-point round as we begin to slightly increase the difficulty. Name this Masked Luchador. You could easily write a book trying to explain away the confusing history behind this WWE character. Who was Sin Cara? On to wrestling terminology for 4. This color is used to describe a wrestler who is inexperienced. I love hearing Jim Cornette refer to some rookie as being greener than goose shit. The correct answer, what is green? On to geography for the second time. This anti-diva was billed from Norwich, England. Who is Paige? And we'd also accept who is Saraya. Let's move on to the fourth clue of the 400-point round. This ECW diva gained instant popularity, being a part of the risque dance group Extreme Exposé, much to the chagrin of then-boyfriend Mike Knox. Holla! Who is Kelly Kelly? And let's finish up the 400-point round by having you answer some more Stone Cold trivia. Stone Cold made his iconic Austin 3:16 speech after defeating this wrestler at the 1996 King of the Ring. Talk about your Psalms, talk about your John 3:16.
Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass.
Which was all in reference to the born-again, Bible-thumping version of Jake the Snake Roberts.
What?
All right, 10 questions down, 15 to go, plus the Daily Double and Final Jeopardy. We begin the 600-point round with another visual clue named this, Masked Luchador. He's an icon, he's a trailblazer, he's one of the greatest luchadors of all time, who is El Grande Americano. Here comes another clue featuring more terms you need to understand if you're ever gonna talk pro wrestling intelligently for 600. A wrestler who has a problem with his or her co-workers is typically referred to as having this. Sometimes it's good with the fans, but not so much backstage. What is heat? Here comes your third clue from geography. This former world champion is from Davenport, Iowa. Of all the freaking random places in the United States, apologies to those of you who live in the Hawkeye State, who is Seth Rollins? On to more double Ks as we pass the halfway point of the game. A master of catch wrestling, this WWE superstar boasts an array of devastating suplexes, including his Doomsday Saito. Would somebody please push this guy? Who is Karrion Kross?
My ass! You want a viral moment? Yes.
Let's move on to the final clue of round number 3. A little more than a year after making his professional debut, Stunning Steve Austin found instant success defeating beautiful Bobby Eaton for this WCW Championship. And it happened in June of 1991. Such a beautiful looking classic title belt. What was the WCW television title? And we're back to more luchadors for 800. Name this Masked Luchador. Shortly after his debut in NXT in 2020, Santos Escobar won the Cruiserweight title under the guise of his former persona, El Hijo del Fantasma. Here comes wrestling terminology for the 4th time. This 3-word phrase means that anything and everything is legal. It's also the name of a cult classic starring the Hulkster.
What's that?
What is No Holds Barred? Let's take another road trip with geography for 800. This patriotic superstar once resided in Glens Falls, New York. And this WWE Hall of Famer proudly calls Glen Falls his hometown.
Tough guys.
Who is Hacksaw Jim Duggan? From one double K to another, here comes the 4th clue of the 4th round. This former ECW television champion and his tag partner Jamie Noble were collectively known as the Pitbulls. Who is Kid Cash? And we're on to Stone Cold Trivia for 800. Oh, hell yeah, it's the Daily Double. Stone Cold Steve Austin is the category. Place your wager now. All right, time is up. Here's this episode's Daily Double Clue. Stone Cold's defiant attitude led the Texas Rattlesnake to capture the WWE World Heavyweight Championship this many times. Now, Austin won the belt 3 times at the Showcase of the Immortals, WrestleMania 14, 15, and 17. Plus, he would win the title on 3 different episodes of Monday Night Raw. The correct answer, what is 6? And we've reached the most difficult round in Wrestling Jeopardy. It's the main event. If you think you're a diehard wrestling aficionado, these 5 questions are guaranteed to put your knowledge to the test.
Hell yeah!
All right, let's begin our countdown to Final Jeopardy with this final 1,000-point clue. Name this Masked Luchador. Rocking probably one of the most stylish luchador masks of all time, who is Super Calo. And we're on to the final clue from wrestling terminology. What a chaotic brawl is called between a crowd of wrestlers, usually to close out a show, and leave it as a cliffhanger for the next episode or pay-per-view. What is a schmaz? On to geography for the final time. This tag team competitor began his NXT career as being billed from Angel Grove, California. Now, if Angel Grove sounds familiar, that's because not only was it a fictional city in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers universe, but also the quote-unquote hometown for 1990s pop culture fanboy Xavier Woods. All right, let's move on. Here comes double K's for the final time. Most old school fans remember when this wrestler broke Andre the Giant's ankle in May of 1981. This intense feud culminated in their infamous Mongolian stretcher match. Who was Killer Khan? One clue remains before we head on to Final Jeopardy, and that's the bottom line. So here's the last clue from Stone Cold Trivia. After watching the movie Pulp Fiction, Austin credits this actor as the inspiration behind buzz cutting his hair. Recalling the story on his podcast, the short buzz lasted a few months before he would shave it all off, thanks to actor Bruce Willis.
Well, bring out the gimp.
Where do you think you're going? It's Final Jeopardy time, and the category is Wildest Weapons. All right, time is up. I hope you bet it all because it's just fake pretend money anyways. Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose's 2016 rivalry culminated in an Asylum match at Extreme Rules, which had a variety of weapons hanging above the ring, including a potted plant affectionately known by this name. Was it A, Johnny, B, Mikey, C, Mitch, or D, Nikki? Good luck. And props to you if you recognize all 4 of those names being members of the Spirit Squad. However, the correct answer for this episode's Final Jeopardy is C, who was Mitch.
Yep.
And that does it for another episode of Final Jeopardy. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for all of your support. My name is Kevin J. Callis.
Yeah.
And I'll see you next time.